There are no other comments at this time. Let me remind everyone that we are, as we said at the very beginning, we had our moment of silence and we made our comments about the loss of Oscar Grant, and we set up a program to have community meeting fairly soon. I don't know if a date's been set while we've been at this morning.
No, we have not.
Well, I've asked Director Ward Allen, because the incident occurred in her district, to spearhead a meeting with the general manager and staff, and a couple of BART board members would be able to be there, not more than 4 because of the Brown Act, and we're going to proceed with that right away. Now, all the other directors I notice have been keeping notes like I have, and I will keep these notes and share them with the board again, and with the committee, and the results of the further community meetings. And I think with that, it would be a good time to take a recess and take care of some necessities, and come back then and take up the regular board agenda. And oh, really?
I think we should.
Yeah.
So everybody's voting to not take a break.
I think we need to go through, and then if somebody needs to say something, 'cause
I
I certainly want to. Yeah.
Yeah, we do need to do that, and we also have some items on the agenda that we probably ought to do.
They can be held over.
Yeah.
Can they all be held over?
Yeah, I know my committee won't be meeting under any circumstances. But
We need to say something.
Why don't you,
I just
Carol?
want to say this, obviously, to those that are out there, why we are quiet, because we decided that it was more important to hear you than to hear us. And if we were talking in between that, we would be here probably another hour or two. We have a lot to say. We have said a lot. I don't know about anybody else, but I haven't slept in 2 days behind this, because it's my district. I've been answering phone calls, been extremely busy. And I just want to tell you that, we aren't doing this to be rich. I mean, I hear people talking about, oh, you're rich and wealthy. We are not. I want to make that real clear, And I want to also say this. I was shot. I almost lost my life. And so I know how it feels. And so don't go looking at our faces and assuming, because then we begin doing what everybody has done to black people all our lives. You know where I'm coming from? And I just want to say to you that we're going to take care of this. I'm not happy by a lot of responses, but you have 9 individuals up here that did not have a chance to meet with each other. You had a situation that we had New Year's in here. We had a lot of time where a lot of different things were happening every day, and we were trying to figure out what to do. And so it was a lot of craziness going on. And I also want to tell the community that the community also has to step up. I don't think any of us are doing as much as we need to do. We all need to do more, but we have to work in concert. But I personally am not going to stay up here and just be the fall guy for everything, because I know how hard we are working, and I know what I'm doing. And I'm not happy with a lot that happened. But I'm not in a position to tell you all of that. But if you think we're happy about everything that's happened, I've got some ice to sell you in Alaska. So that's all I have to say to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Sweet?
Since a lot of what's gone on, we do need to talk about as a group. Would it be possible to schedule a closed session, because there is potential litigation? And could we schedule it sooner rather than later?
General Counsel?
Like right now? I mean, would it be something we can do now?
We cannot schedule a closed session for right now. We would be.
Because I asked for a closed session about a week ago. Because I agree with Director Sweet. We need to sit down and talk about this. Because we need to, there are things we've got to work out, because, we aren't all happy with how this has been handled.
Microphone.
I just want to say that.
And I understand that, Director Ward Allen. The law requires that the board could call an emergency meeting for closed session with 24 hours posted notice. 72 hours is for a regular meeting where a closed session can be held, but we are required to.
I asked for that.
We are required to notice a closed session before we can hold it.
Okay, I guess what I'm hearing Director Ward Allen say is that she did request a closed session, and she requested it as an emergency meeting. This can't wait, Matt. We got to do something. And unfortunately, we may have to suspend some kind of rules to get it done because, as Carol just said, this isn't going away. We have to do something, and we haven't. We have not handled this correctly, and we know it. We're all here right now. How can we fix this?
By noticing a closed session to be held within 24 hours of the time the notice is posted.
Or would it be possible to go ahead and have a recess for a number of hours and extend this meeting and do it later today?
The agenda for this meeting does not have a closed session noticed.
Okay.
I think that we have to do something, and I think,
I think several members of the board have talked about expediting things, and I've heard from several and run into procedural matters that prevented it, other than I guess I did not hear Carol's request early on. So I'm wondering if we could get our arms around a meeting that would, 24-hour notice would probably be next Monday.
I think that there's some issues that we have a board to discuss, but I think what the community needs to hear is that we apologize. And I think, and as a board member, I have come to, I'm on the board because I care about public transit, and the fact that this has happened is crushing. And the fact that we are putting this on the community, it's unfair that this is happening in the city of Oakland, that we have, our problem has spilled out onto the streets. And I thank the city of Oakland for their work on our behalf last night. And I have a 2-year-old boy, and Oscar Grant had a kid, and it's crushing. It's absolutely crushing. The things that we need to do are apologize to this family. And as one member, I apologize for what has happened on Bart.
We
need to
apologize too. I think we all do.
Oh,
And go ahead.
There's just so much more we have to do.
Yes.
And getting our hands around
Yes.
why it happened,
Yeah.
what we're going to do going forward, and just making sure that the executive staff knows where we're coming from, because I don't think she's hearing it yet.
Yeah, and we've been silent, or there's a perception of our silence. We've all been working behind the scenes. We must do 2 things: apologize and communicate why we're being silent and what we're doing, and to create an expectation for the public
And
to
the
see,
legal restrictions placed on us.
yes.
and that we are taking this matter very seriously and want the same thing as the people that we represent. So on behalf of my constituents in this board, I apologize to the Grant family.
Yes, and I'm sorry that the lady that was here earlier felt that I was unsympathetic. And I only did 2 interviews under great pressure, and in both of them I made that apology, and I felt terrible about the thing, about the whole issue.
I do want people to know we did apologize.
Yes.
But
when you don't make the cut, is my point.
Well, I don't know what happened, but that's important. And I think it's really important, and I'll say this in public because, we may not be able to get our closed session. I requested, and I understand that I'm not the only one that requested, that we send flowers for the full board. I kept waiting around on whether to send them or not, and was getting caught in legalese, and I did put flowers on the memorial. I went over there and just did that. But my point is that I don't think they got them. I really don't. I think that somebody else just didn't, they got lost somewhere in the thing, and so they would never know that. And so I just think that we need to do that. I'm personally ready to break some rules. I don't know about anybody else, but I may be breaking a few rules, so I'm just telling the district attorney, the mayor, the governor, the police department, the board of directors, because this is ridiculous.
Director Keller.